like to look like I'm the last to know, so forgive me. But I learned something recently, and I don't know. I wanted to know if you knew this. Nobody told me the road would be easy, and I don't believe that meant it was supposed to be hard. I listened to that song coming up as a kid. Sure, nobody told me the road was going to be easy, whatever. Nobody told me that. Um, but I never understood that that meant the road was going to be difficult. Is that crazy? I just learned that. Haha. Guess what? I learned recently life is meant to be difficult. Ain't that crazy? The ideal that life wasn't supposed to be hard definitely drove me to a bit of insecurity, definitely, anxiety, depression. So don't think that I'm trying to say that if I thought about it in a different sense, that it would be less hard. What I am saying though is that if I thought about it differently, I wouldn't have suffered emotionally and mentally. It's not my fault, okay? The logic was hardwired in my brain from childhood. How many remember when we were in school, probably kindergarten, where you had to do exercises like find the match, which showed you a triangle, and then it said to find the other triangle, or showed you a ball, find the other ball. When it showed you a circle, a square, find the other. Okay, so we were hardwired to identify likeness, right? But we were also hardwired to find the difference. So exercises like which one of these don't belong, right? We still see them. I see them sometimes on a cereal box. Find the things that don't belong. We have been hardwired by the logic to quickly identify what doesn't belong. So I was going through my life transitions and experiencing challenge while understanding this don't belong. You know what I'm saying? It don't take us too long to point out what don't belong here, okay? That's right, what don't belong here. This shouldn't be happening. I shouldn't be experiencing this. This shouldn't be that hard. Why is this happening to me? All of those thoughts, those affirmations that you silently say in your head are informing your feelings. And these feelings align with frustration, anger, disappointment, go down the list. You know what I'm talking about. We've all been there. So I came to the conclusion recently that I should look for the challenge, almost accept it. You know what I'm saying? Like expect challenge. Towards the end of the year, I was given an additional territory. So it was in addition to the workload I already had, which the workload I had previously or prior to was actually, yeah, it was a load. So I'm given this new territory, and the onset of work really was driving my gears. Like I started looking at other colleagues and thinking like, oh, well, how come they ain't got to do this? How come they don't have to work so hard? Why is this happening to me? Now, mind you, I was grateful for the opportunity because I understood that I was called upon to do so because people saw something in me to do it. But it didn't take away from the idea that, hey, I shouldn't be working harder than what's going on here, right? So I started to get frustrated just a little bit. And it took me almost 2 months to realize that this is a trend where, you go through a period of time and things are cool and then they're not. And it doesn't have to be work. I can think about relationships, I can think about family dynamics, I can think about health. You go through a period of time, everything's easy peasy, and then all hell breaks loose, right? I want to be sensitive because I understand everybody's story is different, okay? I'm not discrediting the level of challenge that you are experiencing. I'm not discrediting that at all, nor am I equating to it. I'm not even saying that it's relative to my own. What I'm saying is accept the challenge. I realize that life is practice, right? So I can count all the challenges that I've experienced in life. And I didn't have a strategy to go through it then, right? I just went through it. But going through it, I earned understanding on how to navigate, or maybe how I shouldn't navigate next time because I made decisions that maybe I wouldn't want to do again. But all of that is experience. I have to believe that I have enough to weather this storm too. So it's a storm. And I have to believe I have the correct utilities. It's like if I wake up and there's a thunderstorm outside. It's a storm, I didn't expect it, but I have an umbrella. I have my raincoat. I know how to keep my feet dry. I have my utilities. So I know how to navigate, even though it's going to rain. It doesn't change the fact that the storm is going to come, but my position to go through the storm is different because I believe I have the capacity to do so. So I don't know how I came upon this conclusion recently that I should accept the challenge, but it dawned on me just a few weeks ago that I was participating in life. I don't want to say wrong, but there was opportunity. I had opportunity to continue participating in this storm while believing that I was enough and knowing that I had the appropriate utilities to get through it. So I'm rushing around yesterday, and you ever had an experience where you are overwhelmed and it takes the slightest thing for you to snap? So I had one of those moments yesterday where I I went to the grocery store and I'm like washing clothes and cooking and cleaning and just doing all these things and just being everything at one time. And I was unloading my groceries out of the vehicle, and I had purchased one of those big 3-gallon bottles of water, and I put it on the chair so that I can pick things up alongside of it. And as I'm pulling up this heavy package, the water is beginning to fall, and I'm thinking, oh, I'll catch it, and push my body towards the water to see if I can block it. And it just slid off my side, hit the ground, and burst open. It completely burst. And I looked down and I said, okay. I, I was stunned. I was stunned. I was proud. I was, because I could have did 1,000 things. I could have cussed. I could have screamed. I could have, stood there in disbelief. I didn't miss a beat. I was just like, okay, all right, okay, we're gonna do that too. I don't want you to think that I'm a champion. I'm on the other side of the fence. No, I'm in it with you, because even though I came to that conclusion recently, I had a conversation just last week with a friend where I was over the weekend. What I mean, last week, just a couple of days ago. I shared what my frustrations were and what I was challenged by, and I was like, "Is this normal?" And she said, "Chas, it is." And then she expressed to me what she had experienced, which was like, it matched my situation. And I said, okay, I'm thinking about this wrong. I'm over here feeling like this is crazy. This shouldn't be. This shouldn't be happening. But what if I look at it now and say, okay, this should happen. This is normal. And it's just been a few days, but changing my perspective has definitely helped to change how I feel about it. How I feel about the storm, how I feel about the difficulty, how I feel about the challenge is going to determine how I overcome, or maybe if I overcome. It's a new year, but it might be the same problem. To understand life from the position that everything must go your way, I would say that aligns to winning, right? And winning is definitely something that derives from a competition. But when you're trying to win a competition, what about the competition is easy? There is a level of effort that one has to exert. And sometimes that level of effort requires a lot of perseverance and endurance, a preparation, mental conditioning. What if that's what life requires? When you face a challenge that you haven't elected to perform in, you come to the start line with the idea, I have my utilities. I'm going to try to make it through. I'm going to try to win. I'm from a position of authority rather than subjectivity. What if we thought life brings challenge? And every time we graduate from another challenge, we realize we've earned another stripe to get us that much further. I'm going to try it. I mean, you don't have to, but the other option is just suffering from sadness and depression and anxiety, which, if that's your thing, don't let me stop you. Let me know how it works. Comment, send me messages. I want to know if you find this new knowledge that I stumbled upon helpful at all. I'd love to hear it. Please don't think that what I'm saying is some kind of magical reinforcement to change your situation upside down. No, I'm just trying to help you get through it because I know it's hard. I know it's hard. And we don't have to suffer, but we will if we don't realize that. Okay, that's all.